Good buddy. You're a good guy.
Hey, you!
We're just gonna hang out, be real relaxed, and we're just gonna make some lobster rolls. We're gonna treat them well. Lobster rolls are some of the best things in the summer. It's one of those things that screams summertime. And since we're winding down and I haven't covered it yet, I wanna make sure I get into it. And you know, one of the things that makes it tricky is dealing with these fellas. There's a few ways to sort of deal with it. There's so many arguments on a humane way of doing this. I mean, there really isn't. To be honest, this was a lively fella, and you know, I don't like to kill things that have a lot of life to them. But the reality is there's a food chain in this world, and I certainly love lobster, and as a result of eating lobster, a lobster has to die, unfortunately. So we're going to try and do this as quickly as possible to make sure this guy doesn't suffer, but he looks nice, right buddy? Again, it's unfortunate that things have to die for us to eat sometimes, but that is the nature of life. And if somebody was bigger and better than us, we'd probably get eaten too. So maybe that makes you feel a little better. I'm sorry, buddy. I have to eat you. The other thing is lobster rolls are ridiculously expensive. Mind-blowingly expensive. $25, $28 for like a hot dog bun filled with lobster. Don't do that. There's an amazing lobster roll place in New York called Luke's Lobster. I'm sure they're all over the place now. Their lobster roll is perfect. And Luke's Lobster does a few touches that I like, so this recipe is inspired by them. And look, $13 for lobsters. What is that, like $6, $7 per lobster? You can't beat that. Forget about it. Just to note, when they go crazy and they're lively like that, just give a massage right on the head and they calm down. And then your buddy is just chilling with you, see? You can move him and everything's good. He's relaxed. If we're going to kill him, we just don't want him to be stressed. So making him as relaxed as possible is going to be the best bet. So first, let's cook the lobster.
Hey, you!
So now the hard part's out of the way. Of course, you could just go to the store and buy these as is, start it from here, and kind of avoid all that hassle. You don't have to kill something yourself. You know, it's not a pleasant experience. I don't like doing it. Anyway, I'm taking the style of this Maine Luke's Lobster roll, but adding a New England twist by heating it up in butter. So what we'd have to do now is take the guys apart. So basically, what you want to do is first get these claws off. And you just twist and pull. And you want to take the tail, pull it out, and you can get meat out of the leg. Now you could save this. This has all the flavor, and so do all the shells. You can keep this, freeze it if you want, otherwise you can toss it. I mean, it's a bunch of guts and stuff. So you can take this guy, put it in your hands, and just crack. And then just sort of push it out with your thumb. And then you want to take the claw away from the knuckles. I'm just going to take some shears. You can take these legs and sort of just snip a little bit up the end. Take this and just wiggle it a little bit. Take the back of your knife, slam it, and then pop it open. Just wiggle it. Try and get that little arm out. Can we do it? There you go. Again. It's a little bit of meat, but you still get some. Basically, we just want to cut them up now in little bite-sized pieces. So we're just going to take the tail and cut it in half. Now you can check to see if there's any intestinal tract. Kind of just want to remove any dark things you see. This one looks pretty good. I'm just going to chop it up. Nice chunks. I got the top split buns. They're hard to find. Traditional ones are hard to find. These don't have as big of a wide surface as I want, but they work nonetheless. So I have my buns. I have some lemon that I'm gonna cut up. I have butter for the rolls and butter for to finish warming up lobster in. I have a touch of mayo, and by touch I mean actual touch, like I'm not even gonna use this much. I'm just gonna spread it on the inside of the bun, which is what Luke's does. And they also have this seasoning that I'm going to try and replicate. Basically, it's like this dust of dried thyme, dried oregano, celery, salt, and black pepper. So I got some dried spices. They were kind of whole leaf, so what I did was I measured them out. Basically took a 1/4 teaspoon of dried oregano, dried thyme, celery salt, and black pepper. I didn't find celery salt, so I just got celery seed and added some salt to it, and then just ground it up real fine into a powder. And that's gonna be like a little dusting on top, and then I'm gonna just chop up some chives.
Hey, you!
That's it. I mean, it's as good as you can get anywhere. No one else is doing it crazy or making up any crazy ways of doing this. Lobster roll is all about the lobster. You don't need celery, you don't need carrots, you don't need tons of mayo. It's all about the lobster. And you want the lobster to shine, you just want to do a few things to sort of brighten it up. That little bit of mayo really makes a difference. So you tell me, you gonna pay $30 for this again? Because I'm not. Thanks again for watching, everybody. Hope you enjoyed this episode. It's a good one to make at home. It's one of those money savers, so I hope you try it. If you do, please make sure you tag me on Instagram or Facebook. It's a great thing to make over the weekend. Maybe you make some corn pesto and some lobster. Anyways, hope everyone's doing well, and I'll see you next time.